So welcome, and looks like you've taken the journey so far. Great to see this. In this lecture, we'll go through the business template we anticipate building now. Right? I hope the previous ones were good enough to give you the clarity that from a mindset perspective, where you want to go, where you want to be, what sort of inputs that you require to gather around you to be successful on this journey. Right? Now, if you know all these things, right, here's what we're going to do as the first challenge. Right? This is going to be a practical session for this. You will have to download the niche positioning document. Right? It's called the Focus Expert Playbook. Right? Now, once you download that, you will and try to do things on your own at this stage, because you need to play around with it a little bit and fill that playbook to get into your niche details. All right, it will help you find your niche and position you, and in discrete steps. That's why it's not been discussed over here. Okay. However, what I'm going to discuss is the conclusion of that. Okay, and this is what it is. The template that you will be eventually filling up, right, which will help you create your business plan, will consist of what problem out there is that you're trying to solve. Okay, what does that mean? Now, you are working towards a niche, you have certain passions, you have certain skills, right? They should be used in a fashion where it's solving somebody's problem. That's when somebody will find value in them, otherwise they will not. Alright? Now, you write and you do what you feel is right now, right? There is a detailed version of how you research these things. But for now, we want the first mindset thoughts that come up and put them in. The second one, once you know the problem, how you're solving it, right? For example, you have somebody who has a pain in the left arm, for example, right? You're a yoga expert, you know probably what needs to be done and what asanas to be applied to get rid of that pain. Right? Now, once you start doing that, you realize that at a certain age, maybe the age between 30 and 40, most of them have this problem, right? So that incidentally becomes your niche. But if this is a problem with regular people, this is happening because of maybe lack of drinking water, it could be issues that they use more of the right hand than the left hand, or whatever that reason output there, right? Now that becomes your purpose to solve that issue, right? Because there is a problem. Now, to solve that problem, you know the purpose that is created, so you find the solution. It could be the asanas, but to it, you might say that to make it strong, you might want to use right arm, left arm more. Simultaneously, you might use it at least 3 times, 4 times out of the 5 times that you use the right one. At the same time, you might talk about more water or whatever the reason is, right? So that becomes a solution for people looking, and you can go about, going crazy on the net about it, or creating a courseware around it, or creating an ebook, or a blog, or a reel, or whatever that is, right? That serves somebody's purpose, and you're helping to attract them to you for the reasoning that you're giving, right? This will help you now then that the positioning that you want for yourself, right? That positioning would mean what is the niche, what is the target market, your mission statement, name of that community you want to build with that, and so the personal designation you want to give to it. So for example, continuing with the example that I gave you, the niche in this case would be that you're trying to solve through yoga and nutritional activities to find solutions for left arm pain for people between 30 and 40. Right? That 30 and 40 is your target market. There could be anybody around the world. The mission statement is that you will try to solve at least the first 100,000 people by virtue of giving them these kind of direction that you do. Right? To that, you write a mission statement, summarizing the same, and that becomes a short-term goal. Then you create a community of similar people who can help other people doing the same things after they become to a level that, to your level, basically can then go about translating it to the others. That you create a community of like-minded people, right? And that word spreads further. So now one will become many, many will become many more, and so on and so forth, right? So after the community, then in fact, during the community getting formed, you might want to create probably a designated company of yours, or some proprietorship firm, or a private firm, or whatever that is that you feel that you can go to that scale. You create that realization for yourself, and you give yourself a designation. Could be a founder, could be a CEO, could be a nutritionist, could be a solutionist, or whatever that is, right? That is what you need to put over there. Then the next level is, typically there are 3 secrets, you could put more, right? But how, where, when? How does this happen? Usage of, less usage of maybe left arm. Where does it happen? Between the ages of 30 and 40. When does it happen? When they stop using it completely. It becomes a how and when, right? And the secrets, right? When you know this, you have specific answers for that how, when, where. And then you give solutions to that, right? So question and solution. So those are the 3 secrets. And you might want to name it something, right? And name it because people can then realize and understand it better and realize it accordingly. Then how do you do it, right? You talked about water drinking. You talk about out of 5 times and 4 times drinking, or rather using it, using the left arm 3 times once you choose 5 times with the right arm. Right? That's one methodology. You might want to use, put at least 3 times water of maybe 250 ml a day, right? Besides your regular drinking water. That's the second methodology. Third is maybe the food elements, or maybe 4th one could be using certain asanas or exercises that you want to do. Right? So that formulates a methodology in place. Then, while you're doing this, you might also want to, since you can't be everywhere, anytime, at all places, you might want to put this in the form of understanding for people. It could be, as I told you, a vlog, a blog, or so many other things like you do. You might also create a courseware for this, right? So that you can put a value to the course, you put challenges to the course, what we've been discussing, right? Some test or something that can understand people, can grow their levels if you have levels like that you can put, right? Then you give them bonuses, right? Since you're a nutritionist, you're a yoga expert, you might want to put those other activities also along with your main activity, which will form bonuses, right? And then you create your packages around that space, which becomes your product. Okay? Simple form of putting a digital product of an e-course, and then adding certain other values to it. To attract more people around this space, you might hold, as I told you, the lead magnet activities. This could be a webinar, it could be a YouTube video that you're putting in place, it might be a seminar you want to conduct, it could be so many other things. So here's an example of a webinar. You put topic 1, nutrition during the left hand pain. You use asanas during the second topic, could be asanas during the left hand pain. Topic 3 could be anything else, like nutrition or eating habits while the left hand pain, so on and so forth. So that will attract the people who are facing these issues, and also some of their liked ones, so that they come and attend these webinars. In the process, they learn the course details, your methodologies, your secrets, right? Then I mentioned that earlier, right? You set up a company, you do your websites, you do your creating a hub, these are system formations which we learn deeper, but these are examples of certain things you will need to do, and this will get filled up with time. Currently, this is for 11 onwards, is more for your knowledge. Governance, something which I discussed earlier, that how we do our governance, could be a weekly meeting with a lot of people to see improvements or the issues that they're facing, so that they eventually come over the challenges, right? And then what all of us do, right? We put 10% of all our income to the right sources and right of philanthropy activities. That is an urge for myself to everybody out there they should be doing, right? Remember the give and accept rule, right? You give, you accept more. If you don't give, you can't accept more, okay? Because your cup is half empty or completely full, depending on how much you're giving, so how much you can accept, right? Okay, this is coming to a conclusion, but let me quickly give you a quick input or a small Zen story so that you understand of this give and take kind of give and accept kind of formulation, right? In a small town, one disciple, so to speak, wanted to go to a Zen master whom he wanted to make him his master, right? So that he could learn the philosophy of life, learn the way of living of life, and so on and so forth, right? But the disciple himself was like a PhD and had done very well in his career, and now he wanted to know the life skills, right? So he goes to the Zen master, right? Sits himself and tells the Zen master, I want you to become my master. So let me know what you want to do and how can I become one. So without any reaction, the Zen master told him, would you like some tea? He just pointed out and didn't say a word. He said, sure. The disciple said, yes, sure. So he got the cup and put it in front of him, the disciple, in front of the disciple, and he started putting the tea, the Japanese tea, into his cup. Once he started putting it in, right, he did not stop. And it started pouring out, it started down the table, etc. The disciple was very surprised to see what is he doing. So he told him, stop, my cup is already full. Why are you keep on doing this? That's when the Zen master said that your cup is so full right now with all your dialects that you don't have space for my teachings. Come again when your cup is empty. So all of us have all our cups so full, we need to give some to take more. Right? That is the story. Now with that, please download your essentials and work towards those details so that we can then get on with the next one. Right? And that is the lesson that we will take you through in the second day. I'll see you there.